The Honda CB500 series came out in 2013, and the whole family, building up from 3 members, got several refreshments during the last years, and for 2019 all the 3 models of it became really new, and especially the X version, the CB500X, became absolutely a new motorbike because it got several really important mechanical changes. So let's know it from a little bit better and closer. Let's start with nearly the only thing which didn't really change is the engine itself. It's 471 cubic centimeter. It can be driven with A2 driver's license, so the maximum power output is 48 brake horsepower, 35 kilowatt, and the maximum torque is also the same, 43 Newton meter. It's an inline 2-cylinder engine, of course, just as it was in the previous versions, and also the same is the rear tire size. It's 160 millimeter wide, and it's working on a 17-inch rim, but in the rear suspension we can already find pretty big changes, and also in the front part of the motorbike. Between the two of them, the fuel tank size is the same, it's 17.3 liters. And now let's go to the things which changed really hard. Maybe the most important change in the front part of the motorbike is the front wheels size. The tire itself became narrower. It's 110 millimeter related to the 1 centimeter wider previous one, but the wheel became 19 inch instead of the 17. So this is maybe really the most important change, because from this the new CB500X started to become a real touring enduro, and it can really be ridden on normal off-road conditions. The front brake itself didn't change. The tire brake size is also 320 millimeters, and we have a 2-piston caliper on it, of course with ABS. Little bit problem that it cannot be switched off. The front telescopic forks are the same width as on the previous models, 41 millimeters, but the travel of them became longer, more than 10 millimeters. And also a pretty important change, that if we check the top part of the telescopic forks, that the preload can be changed on both of them. The preload in the rear suspension can be changed as well, and just in the front also with the tool. And in the rear suspension central unit there is even a bigger change in the travel of it than in the front, because here more than 15 millimeters longer the travel of the suspension. The rear brake is the same, 240 millimeters disc, and of course we have ABS here as well. And if once we are beside the wheel, then we have to mention the exhaust system, which is also new, and the sound of it is really nice, especially when you are using the engine brake, and the small ropes coming out from it are really looking or sounding great for your ears. As the whole suspension became longer, of course the ground clearance of the whole motorbike is longer as well, or higher as well. Now it's 170 millimeters. Of course the increasing of it is something around 20 millimeters. A small problem that from the bottom the bike is not protected at all, so if you want to leave the paved roads, then you have to solve this part and protect this part a little bit better. As the whole bike became higher, of course the seat height is the same. On the previous models, in all generations, it was 810 millimeters. Now it's 20 millimeters more, 830, but I think that for several riders is still good. If we sit on the motorbike, then the seat position itself is really absolutely perfect. If somebody has a really long leg, just as I have, then of course the downer part is a little bit sporty, but it's not a problem at all, even though it's comfortable for longer journeys for me as well. The handlebar position is absolutely good, it's wide enough, and the whole upper body position is really the most comfortable which is just available on a motorbike. And we have a pretty good wind protection. It's a big windshield that is coming with the CB500X. The position of it is, the position of it can be changed, but not easily, because you need tool. The same tool is good for the whole windshield. You have to remove the plastic first, and then you can change this keeping irons position with this amount downer. You can, so this is the higher position. I'm 190 centimeters tall, and for me the wind protection of this windshield, the serial one, is nearly absolutely perfect. If I am sitting totally normally and with a straight back, then I have some wind noise around my ears, but not really serious amount. And if I just pull my neck in like this, then it's total sound, totally without any sound or noise, so then it's absolutely silent. The whole suspension is not only longer, but it's made really little bit different than on the previous models. It's a little bit soft, we can say, because the front telescopic forks are working like this, just statically, and the rear section is like this, so they are really soft, both of them, and they are working really in a nice synchron, so the front and the rear part is always making the same thing, and it's absolutely calculatable for the rider. And on normal everyday road conditions and soft off-road conditions, the thing that it is giving to the rider is absolutely good. I think that only if you are riding really on the limit, which is not the field of the CB500X at all, if you are really riding on a limit in changing direction curves, and you are putting the bike hard from one side to the other, then it can go out from its, let's say, comfort zone. Otherwise, it's solving everything on the public roads very, very well. And how is it working, and how feeling is it to ride with the new CB500X? We go on with that. So how feeling is it to ride with the new CB500X? If you are not a rider who is really wanting every day the over 200 kilometers per hour speed range, then and you like the comfort, then this bike will be your bike, because it's accelerating just enough for the public roads. Its top speed is somewhere a little bit over 160 kilometers per hour, but the bike doesn't really like this speed range. If you want, with one person, it's really easily possible to ride with it around 130 kilometers per hour. Then the engine and nothing is suffering at all. But the speed range that the bike really likes, as I think, is the 100-110 kilometers per hour. There the RPM is around 4,000-5,000. The fuel consumption is easily going down around 3 liters per 100 kilometers, but if you really use hard the engine, then it is increasing to 4 liters, so it's not really high anytime. I still remember the 2013 first version of it that needed much more fuel than this version, so the bike really became better than the previous one was. And for the everyday touring and riding in a big city and everything, this bike easily knows. Of course, the X version got the same new dashboard as all the other two CB models. It's an inverse black LCD with lots of information. None of the riders need more information than it has, I'm sure. The visibility of it is really good, even in a totally black helmet visor in strong sunshine. The only thing I couldn't see was this red end of the RPM counter. All the other parts were really well seeable. Of course, for 2019, the CB500X also got a full LED lighting, so all the lights, indicators, everything is made with the LED system. And the whole bike is, we can say, an absolutely modern motorbike, which is good for a rider in the 21st century who wants to ride in a big city, want normal tourings and things like this. Some things are maybe missing from the bike. Maybe the hand protectors, so from here to protect your hands from the bushes and the trees when you are riding off-road, and of course from the wind when it is colder. If once the upper body's wind protection is perfect, then it would be a nice thing to protect the hands as well from Honda. Also maybe the crash bar, the downer protection of the motorbike would be nice things. But for example, I have to give a big red point for Honda, because the passenger holder has these small iron pieces which can fix the spanifers, the rubber fixers or anything, so you can really easily put luggage behind you. Of course, the CB500X is a good touring motorbike even for two-person as well, because the rear section is comfortable and it's not slippery at all, so it's really important that the passenger is not going to slip on the rider's neck all the time. Of course, if you want to use it normally, for example in big hills and places like this with two-person, then it's not a bad thing if both of them are much under 100 kilograms. So two guys or girls like this are the perfect two-way passenger for this motorbike. But all in all, we can say that the new CB500X is really a good adventure bike with an overall weight just under 200 kilos, still 197. It can be used for all purposes what is normally necessary on public roads for an average rider. If you liked our review, please push a thumb up. Under the film you can find the link where you can donate our work. If you do it, then we send all of our films before their publicity to you. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe for our channel and watch our previous reviews and films as well. Thanks a lot for your kind attention.